Tez Walker can really transform the Baltimore Ravens season this year, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. His impact last season was minimal on offense. He started off being a big-time special teamer, worked his way up, and John Harbaugh said, hold up, this kid got something. Gave him an opportunity in that Giants game to get in on offense, and his only catch of the season ended up going for 6, and it was a beautiful toe tap in the back of the end zone catch. It was perfect, man. Lamar put it on the money where only Tez could get it, and Tez got it and made the play. And then he did have a couple of opportunities, had a couple of passes thrown his way, but didn't have any more catches besides that one. So obviously you will consider that a win, but overall you want to do more. You want to do a lot more. So then this offseason, the Baltimore Ravens said, all right, Nelly, thank you for your services. Thank you for everything, but we're going to move on in another direction. But that other direction that they moved on ended up being DeAndre Hopkins, and people were wondering what's his role going to be. But he made it clear, the Ravens have made it clear, that he's expected to be sort of a wide receiver 3, even though we could even have a 1A, 1B, and 1C when it comes to our wide receivers. But what about Tez Walker? Well, Tez Walker, I would assume that he will still be a special teamer, but I think his role is going to be a lot more than just special teams. Tez Walker is looking to take a leap. And every time we hear about Tez Walker this offseason, it's positive things. We heard it from jump, and we heard it not only from jump, but we heard it consistently. We would always hear about Tez Walker making his play in practice, Tez Walker making his play in minicamp, Tez Walker scoring a bunch of touchdowns this offseason. And that's exactly what you want to hear. Yeah, we have heard it in the past before when it's been a practice player, an offseason player. Who's that one offseason guy going to be where they get talked about so much, but when it comes to the real games, they don't really do too much of that. We don't hear about that anymore because now with the Ravens, it's real because of how they've been so good at their development with their wide receivers over these past couple of years. That's why when it's offseason talk and offseason hype, you got to buy into it. And Tez Walker, we buying into all of it for him. With his role this season, it's expected that he ends up being that number 4 wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. And let me paint a picture for you. And it won't take too much for me to paint it because it happened last year. Last year, we had Zay Flowers. We had Rashod Bateman. We had Nelson Aguilar. We had Tylan Wallace. Those were our wide receivers, and obviously Tez Walker as well. But there were some games when Zay would go out for just a little bit, so then we would be down a couple receivers. There were some games where Rashod Bateman, he would go out. And some of them where he didn't even return to the game. So we'll be down some receivers. And we even remember the playoffs. Zay Flowers, last game of the regular season, he was out. He was out, and then he missed the entirety of the playoffs. And he never even had a chance to come back because the Baltimore Ravens lost to the Buffalo Bills. So in that game against the Bills, we were down Zay Flowers, but then Rashod Bateman went out too. So our wide receivers were Tylan Wallace, was Anthony Miller, was Stevenson. So we were down. We were down to the nitty-gritty of it. But Tez Walker was also one of those guys as well. So with Tez Walker, we know injuries happen. It's an unfortunate part of the game. Now, we don't expect any serious injuries to happen to any of the receivers, but we know sometimes people get tired. Sometimes they get a little scuffed up. They get a little banged up. It happens. So if Tez Walker, as your number 4 receiver, has been shining like he's been shining this offseason, then that shows that he's going to be ready to step in and fill in and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So that can have such a big impact on Baltimore Ravens' passing game and just their offense in its entirety. Because if you have somebody that's been showing out and that's ready, that's a contributor, then if one of your top guys goes down just for a little bit, if one of your top guys just gets tired for a little bit, then that can allow the flow of your offense to continue because you have somebody that's been doing his thing. Let's read this that came out today that talked about the biggest surprise out of the offseason for the Baltimore Ravens on offense, that being Tez Walker. It says, the 2024 4th-round pick was Baltimore's most consistent wide receiver during spring practices and recorded 2 of the biggest catches of minicamp. So that's such a beautiful thing to hear about Tez Walker. Let's continue. It says, on the first day, Walker made an over-the-shoulder grab 20 yards downfield. On the second day, he delivered an acrobatic grab over cornerback TJ Tampa along the sideline. So shout out to TJ Tampa, but this is more to prop up our guy Tez Walker and just everything that he's been doing this offseason. And again, how consistent he's been this offseason, because that's where it starts. The consistency starts in the offseason, then it translates to the regular season. Let's get back to the article. It says, Walker is looking to become become a bigger part of the passing game after a forgettable rookie season when his only catch was a 21-yard touchdown. He appears to be the front runner to be Baltimore's number 4 wide receiver behind Zay Flowers, Rashod Bateman, and Deandre Hopkins. Every day, all he does is show up and go 100 miles an hour, Ravens coach John Harbaugh said. So that's great. That's great to hear. And you think about the depth that the Baltimore Ravens have. That's been the conversation that we've been having all offseason, the depth and how quality their depth is. Let's talk about the passing game alone, since we're talking about Tez Walker. Again, Zay Flowers, Rashod Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, there's Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell. There's still Tyler Wallace too. Those are 9 guys right there. 9 quality players, 9 high-quality players that are pass catchers for the Baltimore Ravens. 10, add in Pat Ricard. So then 11, you add in Tez Walker. That's a beautiful thing. I ain't even mentioned Charlie Kohler too. So the Baltimore Ravens, they have such high quality at pass catcher. With Tez Walker getting ready to be that number 4 receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, this just makes their offense flow so much smoother, and this allows their offense to be that much greater. We've made it to my favorite part of the videos where we feature your questions. Send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com if you want to be a part of it. Or if you want to become a Team Keep It Clean patron, go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids and you can send your question on there. First question came from my guy, Colin. He said, hey, man, I've been watching ever since the 2022 season. Appreciate that. That's a long time, my friend. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. He said, and I've loved coming back every week to watch an update on our Baltimore Ravens. Your channel has given me something to bond with my dad over. We talk about your videos all the time and always mention Team Keep It Clean. He said, I don't really have a question. I just wanted to reach out, and I thought it would be really cool if I could show my dad we got into a video. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Much love. Wow. That's special, man. I really appreciate that a lot. That's very, very special because it reminds me of my relationship with my son. And it's cool. It's been really cool just to watch him grow. To watch different things that we may bond over. Most recently, he's been taking a YouTube class, try to figure out how to make YouTube videos and stuff. So it's been cool talking to him about that and seeing that. But hearing this with you, that you've been bonding with your dad over the videos, that's such a beautiful thing, man. It really, really is. As somebody who didn't grow up with their father, and I don't have no resentment or nothing like that. It just this just hit me big time, man. It really did. Because that's a special relationship, man. It really is. That's why I appreciate my son so much. And I always get confused, like, man, how could somebody, like, because I know it happens a lot, and I know everybody's story is different. So I ain't judging nobody. But I feel like, how could somebody, like, not be there with their kid, not be there, not make an attempt to be there with or for their kid? Like, even if the relationship don't work out, you still got a kid there. Like, it's crazy. But I appreciate this. I thank you so much, Colin, for sharing it. So special shout out to you and your dad. I appreciate y'all watching the videos. Thank you, man. Next question came from my guy, Joseph. He said, I don't have a question today. Just wanted to say good afternoon. I would also like to say Flock Nation. He said, like and subscribe. Let's get Team Keep It Clean to at least 85,000 subscribers. That would be nice, man. One day, we'll get there eventually. Well, we just got to be patient, keep doing our thing, and hopefully, because 85,000 will be very nice if we can achieve that. And then if we want to keep growing after that too, no problem. But I appreciate that. Next question came from a Team Keep It Clean patient, my guy, Omar. He said, I ain't giving much respect and thanks for all the great content. I appreciate you. He said, there's been a lot of talk lately about how the Ravens can improve an already strong roster heading into the 2025 season. I've been listening to your breakdowns by position. Really appreciate how you lay out the possibilities for veteran additions and what each group might need. Now, I appreciate that. I appreciate you checking that out too, man. He said, now, I don't have any deep insight into which position group would benefit the most from adding a veteran, but I really hope they don't bring in another safety unless it's just for depth. Okay. Oh, my guy said, hey. He said, Ravens, stay in pat, stay where you at. We don't want or need no other safeties. All right, let's see what he's talking about. He said, I just don't see any reason why Malachi Starks can't be a day one starter. Oh, he's going to start. But anyway, let's continue. He said, every time a rookie makes a mistake, people say that's a rookie mistake. But what do we say when veterans make mistakes? Because we see that every week too. That's true. Being a rookie shouldn't automatically count against him. Malachi has so many things working in his favor. Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, 2 elite communicators on the field with him. The defense is entering its second year in the same system, and now we've got Chuck Pagano working with the secondary. That's a perfect environment for a rookie with high upside to grow quickly. If Malachi is the kind of talent we all believe he is, why wait? Let him get valuable reps so that by the time the playoff push comes, he's battle-tested and ready. So here's my question to you. What's your take on starting rookies from day one? Do you think it ever causes tension in the locker room? Like, do veterans feel like the rookie didn't earn it? Or is it simply because of whoever helps the team wins plays? As always, I appreciate your insight, my brother. Appreciate that. This is such a great question. It's a fun question, too. But real quick with the safety, like, because y'all know I've been talking about the potential of the Baltimore Ravens adding a safety. Now, when I talk about that, I've been thinking about that third safety. Kyle Hamilton will still be a starter. Malachi Starks will still be a starter, but I've been talking about that third safety. Who's going to be that other guy on the field as their third safety? That's why I feel like I feel like Ravens might be a little hesitant to go with a second-year player, whether it's Sanusi Kano or Bo Brady, even though they say they've been doing that thing. So it's like, hey, okay, cool. So, like, sort of look at it from the wide receiver point, and I know it's different, but still, look at the wide receivers. Like, the wide receivers, even though Zay Flowers, he ended up being a starter his rookie year, and then he still continued to be a starter. He was a first-round pick, but their other starter, was Rashod Bateman. There was Rashod Bateman and Odell Beckham Jr. So you see how they had the 2 veterans, and then they had a rookie. But then with safety, Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks will be a rookie. But then would they go with a second-year guy to be that other star? I don't see them doing that. But hey, anything is possible. Now to your question about should rookies start? What's my take on rookies starting from day one? If they earn it, they get it. If they earn it, they get it. He said, do you ever think it causes tensions in the locker room? I think so for sure. Because you think about it, you put yourself in their position. Like if you, for us that work, if you think about when you go to work, you go to your job, and this happened to me before. I got firsthand experience, and I'm like, what? But went to work, had been working at this place for a couple years, and had been making a certain amount of money. And this is a little bit different, but the same kind at the same time. Had been making a certain amount of money. But then, and I've been there for like 2 years, and the group of us had been there for a couple years or whatnot. Then the company, they brought in these new people. Same position. They didn't know anything that they were doing. We had been there. We were the veterans. They were the rookies, but they were making more than us. Oh, boy, you talk about frustrating. Oh, that was some of the most frustrating times ever because it was like, and talk to management about it. They were like, oh, that's just how much they're getting paid now. That's just how it is. So I'm like, man, we've been here for the longest, doing our thing, working hard, but they just got here. And we even training them. We showing them how to do stuff. But they making more than us? Oh, it's just, like, even talking about it out loud, it's so frustrating. Oh, it's so frustrating. But it just reminds me that I am very, very grateful to y'all every single day for watching the videos, to have allowed us to be able to do this for a living. I'm so grateful, man. Really am. Every single day, man. Because y'all helped out a whole lot. So I appreciate y'all for real, man. It's real, man. But I think that's sort of how it is with the rookies and the veterans. Like, veterans could be part of the team for a while, and then the rookies come in, especially if it's a position that a veteran's been there at. And then if a rookie comes in with a first-round pick, second-round pick, whatever, and they end up starting, a veteran could be like, hold up, what? Why he starting over me? Like, for what? And I'm sure, especially at the quarterback position, because it happens a lot. Quarterback will have been there for a while, and the team may feel like, oh, he ain't got it no more as much as he used to. They draft the quarterback, and then, boom, that rookie ends up taking over, and the veteran, they hit the bench. So that can be frustrating. So I think that's where leadership comes into play. And that's tough. That's real tough, especially with a veteran to a rookie. Because the veteran could be like, I done been in the game for a long time. I know this and that and the third, but the rookie comes in, and they end up taking it. So this is where you got to have a very strong locker room, because that's something that could break it down. Speaking of a rookie taking over for a veteran, next question came from my guy, Jamal. He said, hey, I'm Jamal. I just want to say you do an awesome job covering the Ravens. Respect and salute. Jamal, thank you, man. I appreciate it. He said, however, Lamar Jackson is the truth, no doubt. But here's my comment or question. Joe Flacco was pretty bad during the regular season and awesome during the playoffs, and Lamar is the opposite. Do you agree with that opinion or not? So you're saying Lamar is pretty good during the regular season, but pretty bad during the playoffs. No, because you look at the game last year. Would you say that he was bad in last year's game? I would say no. Look at the Texans game from 2 years ago. Then the Chiefs game. He threw a touchdown to Zay Flowers. Then he threw a second touchdown to Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers fumbled at the one. There was an interception that he threw in the end zone, but that should have been pass interference. It was like they literally knocked Isaiah Likely down. But then you look at this year, this past season, Pittsburgh game did his thing, no issues. They beat the Steelers up, and then they were coasting for a little bit because they were like, "Oh, these Steelers ain't coming back." But then even in the Bills game, he did have a fumble. That was a bad fumble. But then he did more than enough to win, especially that second half. That second half was flawless by Lamar Jackson. Flawless. So I would say no. I don't agree with that. I think Lamar Jackson has certainly been changing that narrative of how he plays in the playoffs. He still has had the turnovers, obviously, the interception, even though Rashod Bateman ran the wrong route, and then the fumble in that Bills game. But he has certainly been turning it to where he did enough to win the game or to bring them back last year. But obviously there was the drop by Mark Andrews. There was a fumble by Mark Andrews. Oh, man. Whew, but no, I would say with Lamar Jackson, he has been great, phenomenal on a whole nother level in the regular season. And it's been time to carry that to the playoffs as well.